I want to get to a couple specific questions on Jerry Brown, which you may be slightly more uncomfortable. And that is,
bring it on. I'm ready.
Okay, when we take a look at Jerry Brown trying to spend $100 billion to build a bullet train, what's your take on that? As somebody who's obviously ensconced in California politics, has been for a long time, that looks to the rest of the nation like a giant boondoggle, a waste of money. There is a 5 freeway that runs all the way down the length of the state. There's not a whole hell of a lot of traffic between Modesto and Sacramento. And the idea of spending an enormous amount of money to build a bullet train in a state where you have a structural deficit or a structural debt that could amount to as much of $1 trillion seems like a giant waste of money. Are you pro or against the train, especially given the fact that the Californian public, which approved the train in the first place, now has reneged and no longer likes the train?
Yeah, I think I'm where the public was and is, and so let me answer that in 2 ways. First of all, I was the first mayor to support the train project, the $9.95 billion bond, when Governor, interesting, wasn't Brown, it was Schwarzenegger who was out there championing high-speed rail, and I was out there aggressively making a case for it. The northern terminus was coming into my city, San Francisco, where we were building the Grand Central Station on the West Coast, our Trans-Bay terminal, and it required that train station there, the northern terminus, to be there. That said, I'm open to argument. I'm interested in evidence. I'm not an ideologue. And while I think in a growing population we need more alternative means of transportation, and we can't build enough runways out in the water, and we can't build enough freeways in people's backyards, I thought it had merit. But I agree with you now. We value and engineered it down to about $68 billion. And again, I get the cynicism. You're saying, yeah, sure, good luck actually reaching that. But we don't have the federal dollars that we were hoping for. Only about $3 billion has come forward. The private sector hasn't stepped up. That said, the governor is hell-bent on doing the first phase of this in that area that you just referenced, in the central part of the state where President Obama is actually visiting today, in and around Bakersfield and Fresno. And they'll start that first phase construction as early as the next 6 or so months.
If you had your druthers, Gavin,
we'll ever get it done.
If you had your druthers, would you kill the thing?
I would take the dollars and redirect it to other more pressing infrastructure needs. And I am not the only Democrat that feels this way. And I got to tell you, I am one of the few that just said it publicly. Most are now saying it privately.
100%. Well, that is Lieutenant